Ohio State people are here.
Oh, well.
Well, you're not an Ohio State fan, right? And I was like, unfortunately.
No, I'm from California.
Yeah.
I got no allegiance either way.
Okay,
But I like Charleston.
Yay. No, I know. I was like stalking you on Instagram. I saw you at Magnolia, right? Plantation?
Yes, back when I got engaged last July.
Yes.
You went back.
Yes.
You full on
I was doing research.
Yes.
Research.
No, it's really cute.
Well, and I wanted to tell you, because you know Charleston is like the biggest wedding destination place in the country.
I didn't know that, but I believe it because it's beautiful.
Well, I'm just gonna slide that over. Let that sit there.
Too late. both families are in California. I think they would kill me if I knew they wanted to fly to Charleston.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna get started. So I learned about you with Half Broke Heart, that song. And the reason being is because I am one of those single girls. I got your set earlier and I was like, I am one of those single girls.
Aww.
Like, I'm like, yes, like.
I usually tell that story like even bigger where you think you can play it cool and you're not going to like call it a relationship. And you're going to be like, oh, I'm just dating and I'm casual and whatever. And then it ends and you're like super bummed out. Like just as bad as if you took it really seriously. It's like, I think there's something like Sex and the City generation of it too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I should be fine with this being like just a casual thing. And then for some reason, I don't know if I'm a songwriter and I'm like super sensitive, but
no, I think that's for everyone. Well, because you're 32, right? Okay, yeah. So I'm 32
almost
as well.
32.
Okay.
Later this November.
Okay, well, I'm an old girl, but
I'll catch up to you later.
But I agree with you. Like, I think it's women of our generation.
Yeah.
That's how dating is now.
Yeah.
Like, so that being said, what's your worst date ever? Do you have that story you can tell us?
Gosh, worst date ever.
Do you want me to tell you mine?
Yeah.
Okay. This is so gross. Like, I hope my mother doesn't see this.
Oops.
I actually dated a guy that wanted to lick my eyeball.
What?
Right? Yeah, I know. It's like, sorry.
That's it.
Y'all, this is gonna be fun. This is a fun interview, and I'm not even joking. Like, he was a precious guy. Yeah. Sweetheart.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
Gosh, I can only think of. See, the reason that I think I'm a positive person is I forget the bad things. I'm great at remembering the good ones. So I actually remember one that could have been a bad one when my car broke down, but instead we called people to come like check on the car and it was getting fixed and we had like half an hour and we ended up grabbing like Taco Bell and we went and sat in, there was a Rodin sculpture garden nearby and we just like sat like under the stars underneath the Rodin sculpture garden and had Taco Bell and made the best of a really bad weird time. So sorry.
No, that's good. Was it a cheesy gordita crunch?
Man, I'm like one of those, what are the double ones?
The taco and the burrito?
Yeah,
I think Chalupa? No? No Taco Bell fans?
No. They don't pay us enough to actually say the name of what it is we're eating. Just Taco Bell.
Okay, well, I mean, that's my drunk food, so I'm like always the cheesy gordita crunch, and I'm like, yes, girl, give me 12 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're going to jump into the album, which was released in December.
That's right.
So in my research, you referenced Eric Church and Zach Brown as production inspiration.
Wow, look at you. This is real.
Internet.
Yeah.
It tells you things.
At one point, somebody asked me, they're like, oh, so how did you enjoy law school? And I was like, I didn't go to law school.
I would have
Maybe I should say, yeah, right. Yeah, Eric Church, Chief, still is literally in the CD player in my car.
Okay.
And maybe it's been the past, 4 years now? I'm obsessed with that. And the album sequence, like the ordering of the album, a lot of that came from what he did and like trying to figure out, do we have a song like Creepin'? Do we have a song like, and we tried to pull things like that.
Yeah.
And then Zach Brown, I love colder weather.
Yeah.
And then the way he's built his business, which has been very family oriented, and everyone's been with him for a really long time. And he's branched out into all these things. Like today we're at a festival that most bands don't start their own festivals. Most bands don't have their own wine. Most bands don't have their own leather making company. It's really, I think coming from California, we really admire entrepreneurial spirit, and that's, so that just as a musician and from production standpoint, I love that music, but also just love what he's done as an artist. And I think that's something that is a whole really important part of being a musician, and how are you building the brand and this impact that you have on your community, like what are you doing? And he's done a lot of cool
would you do anything? Like, do you have like a
Oh, I've got a whole list.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like I need like a few more hits under my belt, and then I can do that.
Okay, all right, cool, definitely. Okay, so with the growing success of Untamed, was there like one wow moment? Like, holy shitballs.
Yeah,
this is.
There's been a lot of those, and I'd say the most recent one was at the ACMs. I got to perform on the stage, like during the TV awards, and in front of all these people you've looked up to for a long time, and are your now contemporaries, and standing up there and singing Burning House, and at the end everyone's standing up and like organically like clapping and giving you a standing ovation. I like wanted to cry because it just felt like that's the best validation that you can have is everyone just saying like welcome to the community, like we think what you're doing is good and is valuable. Yeah, a lot of people kind of said that night how much they really appreciate what Burning House and me are doing, and it felt really good.
That's awesome. So that brings me to fangirl moments, because you talked about Bonnie Raitt earlier.
Yeah, I freaked out with Bonnie Raitt.
I saw on your Instagram about Dolly, and the whole
God.
Dolly.
I didn't know Dolly. I was like around her, and they're like, Dolly wants to meet you, and I didn't get to meet her yet. So it's happening in Nashville. So that hasn't. I haven't freaked out in her face yet.
Wait, is this date already planned? So you already know?
The date isn't planned, but the planning of the camps, like trying to figure it out when we can all be in the same spot at the same time is happening. But no, like I got to sing on Vince Gill's record. That was a crazy moment because Vince Gill is one of the most amazing voices. And yeah, Bonnie Raitt, I just on the red carpet, I was like, we bumped into each other, and I just all compliments just like vomited out of my mouth. I was like, you're the most amazing singer ever, and she just was like. Later on, she ran into me and she goes, that made me feel so good what you said earlier. I was like, you're talking to me.
Just like, isn't she like ageless? Did you see her? I saw her back in.
That streak is the coolest fucking thing. I want that.
It makes you okay to have gray hair.
Yeah, no, she's so hip. She gets up there and she's not trying to like play or sing over everybody else. She's just like laid back and just
chill.
Yeah,
she knows. Yeah, she's
really
very powerful.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, I saw her recently at Kaboom Music Festival in Del Mar, California.
No!
First time I ever saw her.
That's cool.
And I had like, the fangirl, like the Sanjaya from American Idol, like the tears running down my face, and I'm like, you're so good. Yeah,
I feel like she's up in Marin now, maybe. I think she has like a label and stuff up there, She's hip.
Well, and like, there's like a whole trend, I feel like, of California artists now too.
Yeah.
Like Brett Young is from California.
Right. And Joe Party.
Yes.
And who else? We got Merle. We lost Merle. We lost one of our best ones. And I feel like Dwight Yoakam. I don't know if he's really from California, but he feels like he's from there. Who's from Orange County?
Gary Clark? No, not Gary. Alan. Thank you.
Alan. Gary
Thank
Allen. So good. He's from somewhere in Orange County. I feel like somebody heard him.
Thank you. It's like
somebody heard him and he got his start there too. Yeah. No, we do things our own way. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Out there.
So have you ever thought about doing a Merle cover in honor?
Yeah, we've done. Actually, I got invited. What was really cool is because I'm from California, I was invited to this special Bakersfield Sound exhibit they did at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and I covered a Buck Owens song and a Merle song, and yeah, it was really cool to kind of be sort of part of the lineage. Like not just because I'm from California I got invited, but I felt really special to kind of be there for that. Yeah, I love playing the Crystal Palace in Bakersfield. Like the whole history of it's really something that's definitely not lost on me. And it's really funny when people are like, you're from California, how do you know country music? It's like, I know, it's crazy, right? We don't get it there.
Well, I feel like people say that about anybody that's not from like the selected states, It's kind of like, well, country music's everywhere. It's not like you have to be just in Tennessee or South Carolina to appreciate country music,
Right.
So, no. And that was from your grandparents, right?
Yeah, well, that was like the earliest version of it was, they had a ranch down in Oceanside and with horses and stuff, and so we'd go hang out there, and in the mornings you have to get up super early, and like if you want to ride the horses, you better go feed them, and like at night they'd all play pinochle and listen to like Patsy Cline and Willie Nelson. My grandparents would like dance on the wood floor and stuff, and it's kind of like those early memories help you when you hear that music again. It kind of feels like home, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. So, do you have a favorite Willie song?
I mean, like, did he write "Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys"? Or did
I thought he did. Or was that Bob Dylan?
I don't know, but man, he singing on that was killer.
Yeah. Okay.
And like, just you know what's so cool about Patsy Cline too? Because like, that was one that I just adored forever because of my grandparents. Is they're doing a thing at the Country Music Hall of Fame where they have like new artists and their inspirations, and they have my Opry debut outfit. It's gonna hang next to a Patsy Cline outfit in a case. I know.
That's a holy shit.
I know.
Like,
I'll pee right in front of it. That's gonna be amazing. But like, I can't. It's just so unreal.
yeah, that's the full circle moment right there.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, this is
It
legit.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We keep going through this. So, Untamed, you run the gambit of emotions and experiences of what a lot of women go through. So, what is the most personal song to you on the album, besides Burning House? And did you have a full grasp of how women were going to react to that album?
Most personal song would be Village, I'd say, because that one is about one of my good friends growing up from like 4th grade on. I spent a lot of time with her family at their house, you know, as you do with good friends growing up. And her older brother, I didn't have an older brother, so when we got to like high school, he was the one who like drove us to school, would play like Rage Against the Machine, and we'd be like terrified and in awe at the same time. And I remember when we were at Claire's wedding, this is my friend Claire, we were at her wedding, Chris was like, I'm just so proud of you and what you're doing with your music. And I think when you're in your 20s, it's not really easy to be excited for other people or even be out of your own head because you're just trying to like get by. And he just was always such a good person to like think about other people like that. And unfortunately, he passed away. He was in an avalanche, and it was kind of like a really sudden thing, and it was really intense. And I knew I didn't even know how to handle it, and I sure knew that Claire was going to have a hard time handling it. And I sat down to write Village and tried to write what I would want to tell my sister if I were gone. And it's just that no one's ever really gone. You know, they've all shaped this little village in your heart, and like all the lyrics in that song are just pieces of conversations that Claire and I had after that happened. And she was 8 months pregnant when that happened too, so it was a lot of talk about how, I know with everybody you lose, you feel like they're not going to be around for certain things, but it was so obvious in that situation, like this baby's coming, he's going to miss out. And yeah, so that was pretty personal.
Yeah, definitely. That's a beautiful song too. So, let me just make sure. I'm going to try and cover all of my Untamed questions first, but okay, cool. So, we're going to have some fun. And what is your choice of a non-country artist to duet with?
Ooh. Okay, I think St. Vincent's like the coolest chick ever. So, if I
Skills
could,
are unreal. I saw
insane.
she opened for Black Keys a while ago when I saw her, and she's nuts. She's
got
cool.
a beautiful voice too, and she kind of like makes it dark and weird, I think, because she just likes that, like with guitar stuff, she likes distorting tones and things.
Yeah.
She like likes doing that with her voice. To kind of like, she has such a great voice, but instead she kind of makes it ugly sometimes on purpose. It's really cool.
Yeah, and she just has such a stage presence too.
Yeah.
Like, just watching the whole thing, you're
I
like,
know.
always in awe, and I'm
so
like,
hip.
yeah, I'll never be as cool as you.
I know. And she's got curly hair. So that's another crush.
Oh, the curly hair game. So, with that said, with your share of covers that you've done on Bobby Bones and South by Southwest, what is your favorite song to cover? You did Walk the Moon, Shut Up and
Yeah, that
Dance.
was fun. And Uptown Funk's really fun because everyone loves that song. And that's the guy who executive produced my album, Jeff Basker, who wrote Burning House with me. He did Uptown Funk. So it's pretty fun.
Oh, okay, cool.
Kind of pay homage to your pal while you're doing a cover, and everyone, like, just no one gets sick of that song. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, I mean, especially from the crowd, I'm sure you see a lot of really interesting dance moves.
Oh, yeah. Especially when we got a banjo playing during it. That's some good stuff.
So what's the weirdest thing you've seen from, like, the crowd, from your point of view? I'm sure the dancing itself.
One of my favorites was, Because actually, I remember being at a St. Vincent concert when I was like younger and singing along to so much stuff, and someone turned around and was like, "You're in my space. Back up." And I was so upset that like we all came here to like freak out, didn't we? And then I remember we were at a show, and I think it was Mohegan Sun, and this guy was like, I said, at the end of Burning House, I let the crowd sing it, and I put my mic out, and this guy sang completely in a different key, totally timing off, and he was just yelling at the top of his lungs, and I was so happy. And I reposted, someone had a video of it later, I reposted, and I was like, this guy, this is what it's about. I don't care if you sing in time or whatever, like, it's just awesome, you're having a good time. And it reminded me of me trying to sing along, getting shushed. I was really proud, so I was really happy to see that a guy just let it all hang out. Yeah,
it's pure joy, like that moment. You're like, yes, like can I get some church hands?
Yeah,
like, yes. So, that would really be me. I feel like someone put up a microphone in my face.
Have you seen that one of Beyonce where she's oh my god, you gotta Google it. It's a YouTube video where she's like singing something super awesome, and she's walking up to this girl, and the girl, she's coming up, she goes, oh, and she just puts it in her face, and she messes it up so bad. It's really good.
Do you know what song it was?
No, but I gotta look. It's like fan Beyonce fail. Like we'll find it like first thing. It's really bad.
So like she's been shunned from like the Beyonce.
I think everyone embraced how ridiculous it was.
Okay. Yeah. So she hasn't been shunned. That's good. So you were recently a member of CMT's 2016 Next Women of Country Music.
Yeah.
So since that is such an honor for what you're working on and other women are working on in country music, what kind of advice would you give to an up-and-coming singer or any woman that's working on their craft? Oh, I'm sorry, sure.
Yeah, I think
for
women that are up and coming and just what to be doing, the CMT Next Women of Country thing is a really cool moment for women to sort of band together. Yeah. It's a really cool thing because it helps with like visibility, and I think when you don't see someone as a role model that looks kind of like you, and in this case like someone that's a woman, and if you're a woman, if you don't see any women, it's really hard to imagine yourself doing that.
Yeah.
Like if there were no women astronauts, it's like hard to think that you could be. It's like just extra hard. So it really helps to have that, them coming forward and like banding a group together and doing that sort of like exposure for women. But I'd say like a new woman, the best thing to do is to write your own music. Make sure you're aware of your business. There's a lot of times that artists, there's some sort of like mysticism where it's like they're romantic and they just dream up things, and then they don't need to know about business. You need to know about business, and don't let someone else know about it for you, because you can totally do it. There's no reason you can't do it, and you should know all the pieces of it. Those are the most important. Write your own songs and know your business.
And do you have any advice for any other women that may not be in music? Like maybe they're in a different industry.
Yeah. Gosh,
just working on a craft. Like if you're
or starting things up yourself, I'd say the same thing is just know every piece of your business. Like don't expect that someone's going to come in and help you with some piece of it. Like even the parts that you don't like, just learn them, and you can hand them off later. But then you know how to manage it once you've handed it off because you've done it. And I think that's the main thing, is just to remember that. And there's all the people that are successful all started off exactly where you are. There's no difference. They didn't have some sort of special elite training that makes them more capable than you. And I think sometimes you can talk yourself out of things thinking, well, I don't have this or that. It's like, no, you're gonna have to go through all the mistakes and the learning, and then you'll get there.
Exactly.
Well, we have to wrap this up.
Okay, yeah, definitely. We can stop right there.